When you find yourself in a place where no one seems to notice your effort, when your phone is silent and your support system is nowhere to be found, it can feel like the world has turned its back on you. But what if that silence isn't punishment? It's preparation. What if the isolation you're facing is not the evidence that you're forgotten, but the proof that you're being refined? You see, there are seasons in life when God separates you, not because you're unworthy, but because he's ready to strengthen what's inside you before he showcases you to the world. Growth doesn't happen under the spotlight, it happens in the shadows. When the applause stops, your authenticity begins. When the noise fades, your inner voice becomes clear enough to guide you toward purpose. Every successful person has gone through a silent season. The time when no one believed in their dream, when doors closed and resources ran dry. These seasons are uncomfortable, but they're also necessary. Because in the quiet, you learn to listen differently. You stop seeking the approval of others and start recognizing the call within yourself. Preparation always happens in private before manifestation happens in public. The seed doesn't grow on display, it grows underground, covered in darkness, unseen by the world. But even in that darkness, it's still growing, still pushing through the soil, still preparing to break through. And just like that seed, your hidden season is the soil for your future. When you're alone, you begin to understand that external validation was never meant to fuel you. It was never about who cheered for you. It was about who you became when no one did. Isolation teaches independence. It forces you to confront your weaknesses and transform them into strengths. It strips away distractions, reveals your motives, and tests your endurance. Without the noise of opinions, you can finally hear direction. Without the comfort of company, you can finally develop courage. The moments that feel like rejection are often divine redirection. You are not being abandoned. You are being adjusted. Think about if everything came easy, if everyone agreed with you, if everyone supported you, you would never develop the kind of grit that sustains success. Isolation is God's classroom, and the curriculum is character. The lessons you learn there, discipline, patience, resilience, are the very qualities that will keep you standing when others crumble under pressure. You may not see progress yet, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. The caterpillar doesn't look like it's changing when it's in the cocoon, but inside that stillness, transformation is taking place. Your current stillness isn't stagnation, it's strength building quietly. You must stop interpreting loneliness as loss. Sometimes it's the greatest gift you'll ever receive. It's the space that allows you to grow without distractions, the environment where your ideas can breathe before the world judges them. This is where you refine your vision, your voice, your value. It's where you prepare for what's next. When no one is watching, you get the freedom to fail privately and improve quietly. When the moment finally comes for you to step into visibility, you'll be ready because you took the time to grow unseen. The isolation you're enduring is the training ground for your destiny. You are being prepared for something greater than your current surroundings. Stop fighting the process. Embrace it. Use this season to sharpen your mind, deepen your faith, and strengthen your consistency. Because one day, when the spotlight finally shines, it won't expose you. It will reveal the masterpiece that was built in the dark. And that's why isolation is never punishment. It's divine preparation for the person you are destined to become. There will be moments in life when people overlook you, when your efforts seem invisible, and when no one acknowledges the value you bring. In those moments, it's easy to doubt yourself and wonder if your work, your voice, or your dream truly matter. But here's the truth: your value doesn't come from their validation. What people fail to see doesn't define what you are. The diamond doesn't lose its worth just because it's buried in the dirt. It remains priceless even when unseen. In the same way, your worth isn't measured by how many people recognize it. It's measured by the purpose you carry inside of you. Too often, we let other people's opinions shape how we see ourselves. We wait for someone to clap before we believe in our potential. We wait for approval before we take action. But if you always need validation, you'll never have direction. Validation is temporary, vision is eternal. The ones who rise in life are those who know who they are even when no one else does. They understand that greatness is not about being seen, it's about being consistent when unseen. You can't control how others perceive your value, but you can control how you walk in it. The world often confuses visibility with worth. Just because something is popular doesn't mean it's powerful. Some of the most valuable things in life are hidden, like roots beneath the soil or foundations beneath a building. Without them, nothing stands. You might be in a season where your worth isn't recognized yet, but that doesn't mean it isn't real. Sometimes God hides your value from the wrong people so that it can be revealed to the right ones. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself enough to keep moving forward. When people don't see your value, it can sting, but rejection is often protection. Every no you hear, every closed door you face, every person who overlooks you is shaping your ability to stand on your own. The silence around you is training your inner voice to grow louder. When no one claps, you learn to celebrate your small wins. When no one validates you, you learn to validate yourself. That's power. Because when your confidence no longer depends on applause, you become unstoppable. Think about the people who changed the world. Most of them started as nobodies in the eyes of others. They were doubted, ignored, dismissed, but they kept going because they understood something most people miss. External recognition is a result, not a requirement. You have to do the work before the world believes in your work. You have to invest the effort before others invest their attention. And that means moving forward even when no one notices, because you know what you're carrying inside of you. The truth is, people often don't see value until it becomes undeniable. They only recognize worth once it's wrapped in success. But real leaders, real builders, real believers, they see value before it's visible. You must learn to be one of them. To look at yourself, your dream, your vision, and say, this is valuable, even when the world is silent, because your belief in your own value determines how far you'll go. The moment you stop waiting for others to believe in you is the moment you begin to rise. So keep showing up even when no one sees you. Keep giving your best even when no one thanks you. Keep building even when no one notices. Because one day, the same people who ignored you will be the ones asking how you did it. And the answer will be simple. You never stopped believing in your value when they couldn't see it. You knew your worth wasn't dependent on visibility. It was rooted in purpose. And that purpose is what carried you from being overlooked to being undeniable when you're walking through life and it feels like no one is there to support you. It can be one of the hardest seasons you'll ever face. The calls stop coming, the encouragement fades, and suddenly the journey feels heavy. But that's when you discover something powerful, that faith and discipline are the only anchors that can carry you when everything else falls away. When you no longer have someone reminding you to keep going, you must become that voice for yourself. You must learn to draw strength from within and lean on the belief that your purpose is greater than your pain. Because success doesn't come from comfort, it comes from consistency. Faith is the invisible force that pushes you forward when logic tells you to quit. It's that quiet conviction that whispers, keep going, even when every circumstance says it's over. When no one believes in you, faith becomes your best friend. It reminds you that you're not walking alone, that the vision planted in your heart wasn't random. You've been chosen to create, to build, to impact, and faith is the fuel that keeps that vision alive in the dark. Faith allows you to see beyond the moment. It gives you permission to move forward without needing proof. It teaches you that you don't need certainty to take the next step. You just need courage to trust. But faith alone isn't enough. You must pair it with discipline, the daily decision to show up, no matter what. Discipline is what bridges the gap between belief and breakthrough. It's easy to be motivated when things are going well, but when the world turns silent, motivation fades. That's when discipline takes over. Discipline says, I'll do it even when I don't feel like it. Discipline says, I'll stay consistent even when I don't see results yet. It's the muscle that strengthens your faith through action. Without discipline, faith is just a wish. With it, faith becomes unstoppable. The truth is, the people who rise the highest in life are not the most talented. They're the most disciplined. They've learned how to keep working when others stopped. They've learned to show up on the days when no one else does. Because success isn't a single event. It's a series of small, quiet decisions repeated over time. Every act of discipline builds momentum, and every moment of faith keeps that momentum alive. Together, faith and discipline create unstoppable progress. When you have no support, you learn that emotional highs can't sustain you. That's when you turn to spiritual strength and structured habits. You pray even when you feel doubtful. You plan even when things look uncertain. You work even when no one notices. You build your life not on feelings, but on principles. And over time, those principles become your power. Faith teaches you that your breakthrough is coming. Discipline ensures you're ready when it does. This combination, faith and discipline, creates a foundation that nothing can shake. People may walk away, opportunities may close, but you'll still stand because your drive isn't dependent. Commitment is what separates those who dream from those who do. It's easy to be enthusiastic when the crowd is cheering and the path looks clear, but true success begins when you choose to stay committed even when no one is watching, when no one is praising, and when no one understands why you keep going. The truth is, commitment must exist long before recognition ever comes. You cannot wait for applause to start your work because applause is a reward, not a requirement. The people who achieve greatness don't commit because they are seen. They are seen because they committed. When everything around you feels stagnant and the results aren't showing, that's when your commitment is tested. Most people quit in the quiet seasons, not because they lack talent, but because they lack endurance. Commitment is not proven by excitement, it's proven by consistency. It's the willingness to keep showing up day after day when nothing seems to be changing. That's the difference between those who almost make it and those who actually do. Every breakthrough is hidden behind a long stretch of invisible effort. You can't skip the unseen work and expect to enjoy the visible reward. The truth is, recognition often arrives long after commitment has been tested. You'll spend days, months, or even years giving your best, and it might feel like no one notices. But that's exactly how growth happens. The world doesn't clap for roots, it claps for trees. Yet, without deep, disciplined roots, no tree can stand. Your commitment in the unseen moments is what builds the foundation for future success. So, while others get distracted chasing attention, you must stay focused on becoming excellent. Because when the time comes, excellence always gets recognized. Commitment isn't just about showing up when it's easy. It's about staying when it's hard. It's about pushing through the doubts, the setbacks, and the waiting periods. It's about saying, I'm going to do this, and meaning it even when you're tired, even when you're discouraged, even when it feels like no one cares. That's what real commitment looks like. It doesn't rely on emotion, it relies on decision. Once you decide that you're in it for the long haul, you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop giving excuses room to grow. You stop letting temporary feelings control your permanent vision. Every person who ever achieved something significant had a long period of invisibility where no one celebrated their effort. The athlete trains for years before stepping into the spotlight. The author writes in silence before their words are read. The entrepreneur works through failures before the success story is told. Recognition is always the echo of commitment, never the source of it. You must learn to trust that your consistency will speak for you when the time is right. When you understand this, you stop chasing attention and start mastering patience. You begin to value process over praise. You realize that the long, unseen hours of work are not wasted. They are what prepare you for the moment of recognition. Because if recognition comes too early, it can destroy you. But when it comes after commitment has been refined through perseverance, you're ready to handle it. So don't wait to be noticed to begin. Don't wait for applause to keep going. Build your foundation in silence, pour your heart into the work, and let your consistency make the noise later. Recognition will always follow commitment, but never the other way around. The reward belongs to those who keep showing up, who keep believing, and who keep working when no one else is watching. That's how lasting success is born, not through luck or visibility, but through unwavering, unseen commitment. You said there comes a point in life when you must stop waiting for someone to come and save you, support you, or validate your next move. Too often, people delay their destiny because they're waiting for the perfect partner, the right mentor, or the ideal set of circumstances. But the truth is, no one is coming to hand you your dream. No one will push you harder than you're willing to push yourself. The ones who get ahead are those who learn to be their own source of motivation, their own encouragement, and their own accountability. When you stop depending on others to believe in you, you start to unlock the power that's been sitting inside you all along. Being your own support system doesn't mean you reject help or isolate yourself. It means you stop depending on others to do what only you can do. It's about building the kind of mental strength that says, even if no one helps me, I'll still find a way. When you reach that level of determination, nothing can hold you back. Because the truth is, most people won't understand your vision until it's visible. They won't support you until you've succeeded. So instead of waiting for them to believe, you must believe first. Your belief is the foundation upon which everything else is built. You have to learn to become your own cheerleader. Celebrate your small wins. Encourage yourself when things feel heavy. Speak life over your goals when doubt starts whispering. You don't need permission to grow, and you don't need approval to start. Every time you take responsibility for your progress, you gain power. Every time you take a step without waiting for validation, you build confidence. Life rewards those who act, not those who wait for a hand to pull them up. The moment you decide that you are enough, that you have what it takes, and that you won't stop until it's done, that's the moment your life begins to change. Being your own support also means setting standards for yourself. It means creating habits that keep you aligned with your purpose, even when motivation fades. It's easy to say you want success. It's harder to hold yourself accountable when no one is watching. That's where true growth happens. Every time you discipline yourself to stay consistent, you're reinforcing your belief in your future. You become your own backbone, your own reminder that quitting is not an option. Success doesn't come from waiting on encouragement. It comes from developing inner resilience. You'll have days when you feel tired, when nothing seems to work, and when you wonder if it's even worth it. That's when you must remember that greatness isn't built in moments of comfort. It's built in moments of persistence. When you decide to show up even without applause, that's strength. When you work quietly while others doubt you, that's power. And when you refuse to give up because you've learned to depend on your inner drive, that's what separates you from everyone else. Being your own support system doesn't mean doing it all alone forever. It means becoming strong enough that even when others walk away, you don't collapse. It means having the emotional maturity to keep moving forward, trusting that the right people and opportunities will meet you along the way. When you take ownership of your journey, you stop waiting and start creating. You stop needing validation and start walking in conviction. That's the shift that turns dreams into destiny. Because at the end of the day, it's not who helps you that determines your success. It's how much you're willing to help yourself when no one else will.